Vincent D'Onofrio. Now, when we talk about, film and everything, I have an 8-year-old, and so I try my best to show him some of the classics from, my childhood in the 80s and 90s, Karate Kids and Goonies and all of that stuff. When you were growing up, did you go to the theater a lot as a child? Was your experience more out in the theaters, or was it kind of a wait to get the VHS tapes at the house and things like that?
There was no VHS when I was a kid, my friend.
Okay.
But my dad was big on drive-ins. We used to see everything from musicals to like those big
Just
action
any genre,
films.
it
Like
didn't
those,
matter.
like Tora, those kind of films. Do you remember that?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
like crazy stuff. It was mostly drive-ins.
Now, when you were doing all of these trips to the drive-in and you're watching all of these films, was that when you started thinking about a career as an actor? Did you start thinking about acting then?
No, I never considered it at all, actually. What happened was I used to work at a diner where my mom used to waitress when I was a kid in Florida. I used to wash dishes and bus tables and stuff. And I was riding my Stingray bike. I don't know if you remember those, but so I'm hot rodding on my Stingray back home, and I passed this couple who was moving stuff from a truck into this new store, and it happened. I realized that it was I went over and talked to them, and it was a magician couple from Cuba. They had just come over to Florida from Cuba, husband and wife team, magician team, and they were opening a magic shop. And so I worked right there and went to school nearby, and I got to know them, and I couldn't afford to buy any magic tricks, but the guy used to give me instructions, and I would go home and build them. And then I started working as a magician when I was 12 and 13. But then, I don't know if that deserves applause or not, but I kind of stopped that probably around 15 when I started getting into girls. Magic wasn't very sexy back then, so it was like I quit.
So then, to a degree, magic was that
Got me on stage.
Got you on stage, comfortable in front of people.
Yeah.
So then, how does that segue? Because every magician I know do magic. I don't know many magicians who then segue back into acting. How did you make that swerve?
So I graduated high school, and my best friend Elio Medina and we traveled across country. We went from Miami to San Francisco. Our car broke down part of the way. We had to hitchhike a bit. During that journey, my sister was always into the theater and acting all through high school. And so she decided to be an actress, my sister Beth. And I joined her in New York. So I met her in New York, and we started studying, and here I am. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Also amazing that the concept of hitchhiking used to be a thing. Because I don't know how many people would pick up strangers nowadays.
No way.
You and your buddy would still be on the side of the road. We need a short break. As usual, we have an audience member to help us out with that.
Thank you, Roy. I'm Elisa. Kelly, if you're watching this, Roy is doing great, except I'm disappointed he didn't sing the karaoke. I think we all would have loved to hear that. What gives? Kelly, we miss you. We love you. More with Roy and Vincent when we come back.
And that was a look at his new Disney Plus series, Daredevil Born Again. It starts streaming March 4th. Now, Vincent, it's back. It was one of my favorite shows, the original first batch of seasons that you all did. When I found out that you all were coming back and continuing the story down the timeline, I don't want to spoil. What can you tell us? What can you tell us to expect?
Well, it's definitely the same show. I mean, I consider it a 4th season because we did 3 seasons at Netflix, and then we got pulled because they switched the rights to Disney Plus. So it's been 6 years since I believe the last season. The characters are the same. The darkness is the same. The brutality is the same. I mean, it is.
You can clap for brutality and darkness.
I don't know.
They ain't want to clap for it.
I'm not sure.
A lot of fighting. It's visceral.
But definitely the character that Charlie and I play are both still very broken men trying. I mean, the metaphor would be, I guess, vampires trying to live in the daylight. I mean, we're not vampires, but it's impossible for us to live in the daylight as well. And so it's a struggle. And so you're meeting these two men in new struggles on new paths in life. I've got a little bit of my marriage. My character disappeared for a while, so I have a lot of explaining to do to my wife, who played by Yelet Zur, who's one of my favorite actresses. She plays Vanessa. And that's what it's about, and it gets crazy. I mean, my character is just crazy.
Now, I know you get to travel a great deal. Has there been anything really wild that's happened to you while you're out and about traveling? Because the thing I'm most paranoid about, and I'll be honest, it's crime when I travel, because I don't know the scams overseas. Like, I know American scams. I know how to move. I know, okay, that purse ain't real. This dude, you gonna talk to me while the other dude pickpocket me. Like, I know American scams. I get abroad.
There was an attempted robbery by a monkey once in Brazil. I'm not kidding. In Rio.
The monkey tried to rob you?
Yeah.
Like, did he have a gun and a car? Like, what kind of...
I mean, it'd have to be a monkey to try and rob me. You know what I mean? But it was early morning. It was my first day of shooting. I was doing a film about Pele. We were in Rio, and it was my first morning at 6 a.m. in the morning. My driver's there, and I didn't have any Brazilian money yet, so I had to go. I went to an ATM to get my first exchange of money. And the money is coming out now, and I feel a tug on my belt. And I'm a New Yorker, so that means you're being robbed.
Correct.
Like,
correct. You already know
so
what it
I
is.
just turned really quick with my hand.
Create distance?
No, to backhand the.
Okay, you're using that marvel in self-defense.
Yeah. And,
like, ain't no warning shots, baby. You touched me.
Unfortunately, or fortunately for me, unfortunately for the monkey, I clipped the monkey. And it was like 2.5 feet tall, and it slid down the sidewalk a little bit and went up on its hind legs and started screaming at me like a banshee. And it's grabbing for my cash. Like, not kidding. And like, I'm 6'4" and like 250 pounds. This monkey is 2.5. I'm scared to death of this monkey. I'm backing away from the monkey. I look over at my driver, and he's peeing himself laughing. I got in the car. We're driving away. 2 blocks, I could still hear the monkey screaming. He was so annoyed with me. I guess he's never been backhanded by a New Yorker before.
Yeah. That's a good monkey. That monkey was like, oh, my God,
Well,
it's you.
Exactly. Yeah, that didn't happen.
Oh, it's
He didn't recognize me.
He didn't recognize you.
No.
Like, oh. We need another break. Everybody, please give it up for Vincent D'Onofrio.
Thank you. That's very sweet.
His new show is called Daredevil Born Again. It starts streaming March 4th on Disney+.